So, hey guys, it's PM Mathis, and I hope that you've had a great and glorious day. Just wanted to come on and just have a conversation. I hope that there's enough light on my face because this chocolate skin needs a little light. But anyway, because I want to stay committed to coming on, having a conversation with you, understanding that during this time of the year, people can get a little down and depression might set in, but we don't want you to have, that situation. Or I want to help maybe minimize it as much as I can to come on and let you know that hey, you're not by yourself. I am at 53, just turned 53, November the 12th. I am sitting in a place where empty nesting is my new norm. And it's not always easy. It's not the thing that you would think of when you get to certain stages of life. And so, you work through, your the things that are hard. You work through them. You try to manage as best you can. You don't always succeed because there are things that you watch and you see that you hoped for that didn't come to pass. There are things that sometimes you just wish that you could, automate. So that brings me to my message. This is why automation and not her, because you know what? Humans sometimes are moody. And sometimes if you could, have a robot or somebody that um, could do things a little bit more consistently and efficiency. Sorry, I can't say that word. It would come off a lot better, right? Because sometimes we want people to be in positions and say things that would make us feel better, and sometimes they just don't know what those things are. But if we consistently show up and if we can be reliable, if we can stand in the hard places, if we can stand in the gap for people, sometimes that's all it takes. And not only that, not only does that help that relationship within yourself because you're trying to figure out who you are and what your next steps are and what would be the most beneficial to you. Sometimes it's stepping outside your box and helping somebody else and not being so focused on yourself. And hey, I get it because I've always thought my life was all about me. But the older I get, the more experience I have, I am absolutely learning that the world don't care nothing about me. The world does not, things don't revolve around me. What I can do is I can consistently show up. I can use my voice because I really do think it matters. I think my experience matters. I think my love of Christ matters. I think my ability to be compassionate matters. Now, I don't get into the dumb stuff and I'm not big on, I'm saying, holding people's hands and trying to validate you if you can't validate yourself. But I am one that doesn't like a bully. I have been consistent in that my whole life. I am for the underdog. Those people that are trying and just sometimes can't make it up the hill, you want to give them, a hand up. We are not here um, to take on people's responsibilities. We are not here to try to make your life easier and better at my expense or somebody else's expense. You have to be mindful that just because you feel a thing or just because you think that you can say a thing, that is not always the reliable way to be in the world. And as much as I want things to be about me, the more God tells me no, it's not. And so that's why I sit here today. That's why I want to, walk with you during this holiday season because I know it's hard. I know it's challenging. I know it's tough to maybe want to have somebody there. And there's nobody there that hears you, that can see you, that can understand you. Now, I have a cat outside. I mean, I don't know if you can hear him outside the door. He is my little fur baby, and he is really trying to get in here. He wants to be a comfort, but he's really more of a nuisance because he is not even 2 years old yet. And I know you're probably saying, "Oh my gosh, him! Why would you do that?" I don't know. I guess it was just about consistently needing something to take care of, other than myself, to roll up out of the bed. But it's a challenge. And so I say, here's one of the things that maybe would help you is to find something that challenges you. Find something that you can step into that on any given day, if the world was a little bit different, or if loneliness wasn't a beast, that you wouldn't necessarily consider it. But now that you have some time on your hand and you want to be a valid voice at the table, there are some things that you just gonna have to walk through that are just not comfortable, right? That's efficiency. That's being productive, because that's the way of the world. That's how we honestly know that we're alive most days, because sometimes you feel like a robot, right? Sometimes you just want things to be automated, and sometimes they absolutely feel like they're automated because it's the same thing day in and day out. It seems like nothing ever changes. But in that in that place where it seems like nothing changed, look for those small things that help you understand that, what, I'm being productive today. I'm making a difference. Even if nobody can't see the difference, I know that in a little bitty piece of myself, there's some changes happening. And you know what? That will make the difference for you. That will curb the loneliness. That will put you in a spot where you're not constantly with you on your mind, because that is detrimental sometimes. I like to spend a lot of time by myself. But I'm never really bored because there's, like, me sitting here talking to you, there's always something to be done. There's always a project that I could do. I'm a writer and a speaker. There's always some post that I could make. There's always some word of encouragement that I would like people to know. So find your thing. I mean, find your ability to use your voice. Find your thing that if if nobody ever paid you for it, that you could still do, and it would blow other people's minds because it's so easy. It's something that's so easy for you to do. And writing and speaking is my thing. So in my attempt to walk with you during the holidays. Now I'm going to try to be consistent, right? I'm going to try to be reliable. I'm going to try to show up, because sometimes pulling myself off the couch is just hard. I'm just going to, and it's not productive, and it's not the efficient way to get to the next level. It's not the best way to have goals in your mind, and then expect a different result when you're doing the same thing every single day. So I want to encourage you, whatever that dream was, whatever the dream is, to get started. Just like I hear people all the time, because I'm like you. I'm a person that's on YouTube. Probably spend too much time on YouTube, but that is the consensus. Just start the thing. We don't know where it's going to take us, but at least it gives you a platform and a place to have the conversations that you can't necessarily pick up the phone and have with somebody else, because you don't feel like being judged. I mean, I know people can judge you on here, and I know that they can make comments, but being self-aware is a real thing. And you have to be self-aware. You've got to know who you are. You've got to know the purpose and the plan that God has for your life. You've got to be able to dig your heels in and know that you are being a part of the solution, and you're not causing any problems. What somebody feels about you, how they live their lives, and what they have to say about you. Just understand this: if people have enough time to be on here criticizing you, they don't have much going on in their life. And who should be the one that we should pity, them or you? So again, this is about staying committed to my own purpose, but walking with you, because there are people out here that have dreams and hopes and goals, and just don't know how to get started. So I hope that my ability to show up, my little bit of wisdom, my little bit of encouragement will help you move the needle forward. I hope that you understand that we're not perfect and that there will be some human error, but like they always say, practice makes perfect. And if you're willing to, which is not necessarily easy, step outside your box and have a conversation with people, you'll find out that people are a lot forgiving, they're a lot understanding. I am not one that needs a whole bunch of validation. Now I did when I was younger, when I was trying to figure out who I am. Not that I have arrived, but I hope at 53 I'm a lot more closer to that answer, because why? I trust God and I know that ultimately He loves me. I am His child, and He has freed me from the fear of death. So once you don't fear death, you don't really fear much else. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that we live in a world that's not always kind in words or deeds. But at the end of the day, as long as you are speaking the truth in love, and as long as you are having the conversations that matter, and as long as you are showing up for people, then you can rest assured and you can go to sleep knowing that you've done the best that you can today, and that you were enough, and that peace and love and joy will be yours. Why? Because karma is a real thing. And those things that you put out in the atmosphere, like I know that will come back to you. So be kind and generous in whatever ways that you can. I'm not always talking about money. I'm just talking about with your time and your attention, because those things go a long way. And so, as it relates to why automation, sometimes you got to be robotic, right? Sometimes you just got to get up and do the thing and do the thing and do the thing. I mean, even when it's not the thing you want to do, because if we don't, then we do, as humans, we find ourselves very moody. We find ourselves in positions where we're not kind to people, that we're cussing people out, that we're angry at things that we shouldn't be. I'm raising my hand because a lot of times that's where I find myself. And let me tell you, as I'm getting older, there's a lot less tolerance. I have never been one that was really tolerant of a lot, but it is really an inner strength that I have to pull out of myself, that tells me, so hey Pam, it's nobody else's fault. People are doing the best that they can, and those that are not, well, to God be the glory. Let God's, deal with them the way that they need to be dealt with. But for me, right? I am committed to coming on here. I'm gonna try to do it every day, to have a conversation, to let you know that you're not alone. That we will make it through the holidays, and we'll make it through to the next year, and we're gonna be productive, and we're gonna, by the end of the year, have something that's valuable and that we can look back on and say, we put the time in. And so here we are with a finished product, or a message, or a word, or a simple hug, and that somebody could use, or a simple smile, because you don't never know what's going to be that thing that somebody needs. So I'm not gonna stay on here long. So I hope that you have found value in this, and if you have, please subscribe, like, and share. Let other people know that there's a place that they can be heard, seen, and understood. And I will talk to you later. Okay.